Good evening, family. My name is Melvin. I'm an addict. Clean today only through God's amazing grace. I need to always thank God for sponsorship and thank God for the fellowship as well as the program of Narcotics Anonymous. Would you join me in a moment of silence so I can ask God to continue to direct my life? Once again, family, my name is Melvin. I'm an addict. I'm clean today only through God's amazing grace. I need to always thank God for sponsorship and thank God for the fellowship as well as the program of Narcotics Anonymous. I need to tell you that it's only through the mercy as well as the grace of God that I'm clean. I'm not one of them people that earn no seat up in here. I'm not one of those people that paid for no seat up in here. I know it's only through God's mercy and His grace that I'm here. Because when I got here, the only thing that was missing was the dirt. I was done. If I had been in the front of a funeral home, you'd have been trying to figure out how I got out the back. I'm telling you that I am forever grateful that God has allowed me to make it to the room of Narcotics Anonymous. Whenever I'm asked to speak, I always read the last paragraph of Tradition 5. It says, what is our message? The message that an addict, any addict, can stop using drugs, lose the desire to use, and find a new way to live. Our message is hope and the promise of freedom. When all is said and done, our primary purpose can only be to carry a message to the addict who still suffers, because that's all we have to give. Let me read that again. What is our message? The message that an addict, any addict, can stop using drugs, lose the desire to use, and find a new way to live. Our message is hope and the promise of freedom. When all is said and done, our primary purpose can only be to carry a message to the addict who still suffers, because that's all we have to give. On page 20, when it talks about step 1, it says, our inability to control our uses of drugs is a symptom of the disease of addiction. We are powerless not only over drugs, but over our addiction as well. We need to admit this fact in order to recover. Addiction is a physical, mental, and spiritual disease that affects every area of our lives. What is our message? The message that an addict, any addict, can stop using drugs physically, lose the desire to use, which is mental, and find a new way to live, which is spiritual. Now I want to get a few things out of the way. First and foremost, I want to thank Almighty God for allowing me to get here safe. I want to thank God for allowing each and every last one of you all to get here safe. And it would be my prayer that I ask God to let everybody return safely back to their home. I'm an addict out of Chicago. My home group is Life on Life Terms. We meet every Thursday night from 8:15 to 10:15. It's a step and tradition meeting. The first half of the meeting is for the newcomer. And that's so we can find out what is your problem and how can we help. Show you the love that somebody showed us in the room of Narcotics Anonymous. So if you're ever in Chicago on Thursday from 8:15 to 10:15, please come to 8F and Jeffrey to St. Thomas Church. There's 2 meetings there, one from 6 to 8, and then there's one from 8:15 to 10:15. They back to back. 8:15 to 10:15 is the best Narcotics Anonymous meeting in the world. That's my home group. Now, let me get some things out the way. Because listen, I'm going to say some things and you might not agree with it, but that's your choice. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to talk a lot about God and I'm going to talk a lot about sponsorship. And I got to do that because I got to talk about what's been blessing me and keeping me one day at a time. See, I need you to know that I've never been to detox. I've never been to treatment. And I'm not saying that to brag or boast. I'm letting you know the program of Narcotics Anonymous works. I made Narcotics Anonymous meetings and it helped save my life. You know what I'm saying? I've been on American Most Wanted. I've been featured on American Gangster for the organization that I belongs in. I was on American Gangster. I was also on a film called Angel of Fear. And I'm not saying that to brag or boast, but I'm letting you know that God had the power to change my life, man. You know what I'm saying? I was telling some people earlier that the organization I belongs to, if they found out that you was using drugs, like Houdini, you might come up missing. But that didn't have the power to stop me. Here I come to Narcotics Anonymous, where they don't do nothing but show you love, and I stop. Ain't that amazing? So listen, I see some kids in here, and I get excited, I'm gonna do that anyway. And I get real excited when I share because I'm so passionate about Narcotics Anonymous. But listen, you ain't got to worry because listen, I don't use profanity. And a lot of people get it twisted. I don't say you have to stop. I say I had to stop. You understand? I stopped using profanity to make me a better person. You understand? So I know that when you're invited to somebody's house, you're supposed to be on your best behavior. So I'm in your house now. You understand? See, my sponsor told me you never know where this tape is going to wind up at. You understand? But when somebody takes the tape home, they might let their mother listen to it. They might let their children listen to it. Might be a family member listening to it. You understand? And when you tell them that I was at a Narcotics Anonymous convention, and then when you put the tape in and they get to hearing a bunch of mappy-tappies and a bunch of other little funny words, they say it sounds like you was in the street. So they don't know the difference whether you was in a Narcotics Anonymous meeting or a BB meeting, a CC meeting, a TT meeting. But they know whatever it was, it couldn't have been an AA meeting. You know what I'm saying? So I know that when I talk to you, I owe you the respect to talk to you intelligently or to the best of my ability, respectful as I possibly can. See, I'm talking about where I come from. The change was necessary for me. See, I ain't one of them people tell somebody, fake it till you make it. I wasn't faking like I stayed in no condemned building. I stayed in a condemned building for real. You know, I wasn't faking like I was dirty, nasty, greasy, and funky. I was dirty, nasty, greasy, and funky for real. I wasn't faking like I was eating out the garbage. I was eating out the garbage for real. I wasn't faking like I had no drug problem when I got here. I had a drug problem for real. So how you gonna give me a fake solution to a real problem? You understand? I'm saying we got a real program. We got a real set of steps. We got some real recovery, and you can get some real change if you surrender to this program just for the day. See, Narcotics Anonymous, you know, you hear people talk about, you know, I got a program and I act like it. I ain't one of them people. I got a program and I live like it. See, the program don't tell you to find a new way to act. It tells you to find a new way to live. Acting might be your dilemma. A dilemma is an unsatisfactory alternative. That's what a dilemma is, an unsatisfactory alternative. See, you might be acting like you're in recovery. You might be acting like you want to stay clean. You might be acting like you got a sponsor. You might be acting like you want some recovery. That could be your dilemma. So my sponsors say that Narcotics Anonymous say find a new way to live, not a new way to act. It says in recovery and relapse. Matter of fact, I'll read you exactly what it says. And if you're a person that's got a problem with the literature, then that's your problem. It says on page 76, we have never seen a person who lives, not acts, but who live the Narcotics Anonymous program relapse. And if you go through the basic text of Works High and Wide or the Step Working Guide, I don't know how many times you're going to find two words in here, life and live. Life and live. You don't see too much about acting. So I'm real grateful to God, man, for what God in this program has done for me. Because let me tell you something. If you put a basketball in my hand, it might be worth $24. You put that same basketball in LeBron James' hand, it's worth $91 million. You put a baseball bat in my hand, it might be worth $16. Put that same baseball bat in Axelrod's hand, it's worth $31 million. If you put a basic text in a person's hand, it might be worth $10. You put a basic text in an addict's hand, it becomes a priceless gift. So around the room, the Narcotics Anonymous, my sponsors say that you have to know your true value in order for a person to respect your true worth. You understand? See, when I was using, every time I got a bag, I could get a woman. Every time I got a bag, I could get a woman. But listen what I'm telling you now. It had very little to do with the bag. You understand? See, I didn't get no bag and go on the bus stop and say, look, young lady, look like you don't work hard for 8 hours. Why don't we go smoke a bag of crack? I didn't do that. When I got the bag of crack, I went to the alley. And the reason I went to the alley, because the woman didn't care how I looked, I didn't care how she looked. She didn't care how I smelled, I didn't care how she smelled. She didn't care what she did, I didn't care what I did. It had very little to do with the bag. What attracted us, we had the same value system. And if you come inside the room, the Narcotics Anonymous, and your value system don't change, you'll look for the same thing right in here. So when you wonder what's going on in you, with you, you understand what I'm saying? You know, we come to the meeting and a lot of times we like to vent and we like to make a person look like a victim and assassinate their character. But a lot of times before we come and vent and assassinate somebody's character or gossip about somebody or point our finger at somebody, we need to look at our value system. Because a lot of things happen to you based on how you value yourself. See, once your value system changes, then you teach people how to treat you. You understand? I don't even sit in the company of men that call women the B word or the garden tool or any other funny name. You understand? I don't even sit in that conversation. I ain't talking about you got to stop doing it. I remove myself so I don't do it. Because I know whatever you do best, you do the most, and whatever you're comfortable with, you become a part of. You understand? I don't want to be a part of that no more. And I'm going to talk about a lot about, you know, if you ever had a tape of mine, two things I talk about. The respect for women and the respect for children. So my recovery or my program don't begin when I get behind the mic. You understand? It's about the way I live. Ain't about how good I can talk, how you living. That's what counts around here. You understand? If you know anybody in Chicago, call them and ask them about Melvin L. That's how I'm living. I ain't trying to impress you up here on this mic, but I am trying to impress upon you, you understand, what the power of Narcotics Anonymous and these 12 steps done did for me. And why I'm talking about the respect for women and men, I mean respect for women and children, it might be some men in here and say, well, what I hear you doing up there is trying to impress the women. Well, let's look at it from your point of view. Say you're right. when you gonna join me? Because listen, when a woman see a man in Narcotics Anonymous, she's supposed to see something different about us. Because when women's in their addiction, they done been through enough pain and enough hurt. So when they get to the room of Narcotics Anonymous, this hurt and the pain's supposed to stop here. It ain't about us holding them hostage because of their past. I don't care what you did before you got here. You wasn't responsible for that, but you're responsible from this day forward. So what I'm grateful for is that God has allowed you to be a part of my life. You understand? When somebody come tell me, man, you with so-and-so, you know what she used to, I don't want to hear that. All I want to hear about is that God done blessed her to be in my life today, and for that I'm forever grateful. You understand? Because I'm telling you, man, I stayed in condemned buildings, man, I was eating out the garbage. I'm talking about the end. I'm talking about doing anything and everything just to get one more. When people used to ask me, Melvin, why you going in that condemned building? I said, I don't know. They said, man, why you have money and stay so funky? I said, I don't know. They said, why you got money, man, and be eating out the garbage? I didn't get the answer to them questions until I got here. You understand? My clean date is February the 2nd, 1994. I done had a sponsor ever since I had about 35 days clean. One of the best decisions I made in my life, because the first time in my life I found out what was wrong with me. The first step said we admitted we was powerless over our addiction and our lives had become unmanageable. My sponsor said, let's look at the word powerless. It has a prefix and a suffix. It's got power and less. He said, wherever you see the word L-E-S-S, that means without. Like if you homeless, you ain't got no place to stay. If you penniless, you without money. He said, but even though the word L-E-S-S means without, it means that which you can change. Because if you homeless and become a part of a program that helps you with housing, you no longer homeless. If you penniless and you get a job and create your income, you no longer penniless. If you surrender and do the rest of the work in the first step, you have found out that you're no longer powerless. So the first step said we admitted we was powerless over our addiction. The next thing my sponsor told me to look at, he said, let's look at the word addiction. He said addiction is a sick psychological or pathological reaction to anything with life-damaging consequences and is not limited to drugs and alcohol. I say, tell me that again. He said addiction is a sick psychological or pathological reaction to anything with life-damaging consequences and is not limited to drugs and alcohol. When I say sick, that means I have an illness. You deal with an illness three ways: with medication, treatment, or therapy. So we talk about the therapeutic value of one addict helping another. This is therapeutic for us because we had a power to do together what can't none of us do alone. So this is therapeutic. Something is being transferred from one human being to the other. But I said sick psychological. What's your name, young man?
John.
Oh, okay.
John.
What's your name, young lady?
Carrie.
Carrie. I said psychological. I asked Carrie. Carrie psychologically leave the room. Somebody said, how's she going to do that? When you hear the word psychic, all psychic means dealing with the mind. All logical means what makes good sense to the mind or what makes good sense. See, going inside a condemned building at 30 and 40 below zero don't make good sense to the mind and don't make good sense. Knowing your kid's hungry enough to faint, but instead of you buying food, you go buy a bag. That don't make good sense to the mind and that don't make good sense. See, jumping in and out of cars, letting somebody do anything and everything to you, and then getting out of that one and jumping into another one, That don't make good sense to the mind, and that don't make good sense. So that means it was something wrong with the way I think. So when I said sick, my illness, what is it? I suffer from the disease of addiction. So that means psychologically something was wrong with me because of the disease of addiction. But I said psychological and pathological. You ask me right now, Melvin, what you keep putting that book toward her for? I said, I don't know. See, pathological means the repetitious behavior. Repetitious means to do something over and over again. The repetitious behavior to do something over and over again against my will and can't explain why, like using. See, like getting my check, you know, if you don't fully understand, like I get my check. And I got a whole month after I get broke to say I'm not going to do this again. I got a whole month, I'm talking about 30 days, I say I'm not going to do this no more. And then, you know, if you smoke crack, you know, you need an interpreter, because you be, you know, and somebody say, what is he saying? You know, your crack interpreter say, oh, he said he don't do that no more. So you spend 30 days talking about what you ain't gonna do. But then, once the check go from the piece of paper to money, something happens. And you get broke again. So that means willpower and self-sufficiency is a lie. Because something keeps happening that you can't do this by yourself. So I said psychological, pathological. That means pathological, repetition. I keep doing something over and over again against my will and can't explain why. No matter how much I want to pay my bills, I ain't able to do it. No matter how bad I want to buy some food, I want to buy me some clothes, I want to do just something different with my check besides keep using, I can't do it. So I said addiction is a sick psychological, pathological reaction to anything with life-damaging consequences. Because once I get broke, now I put my life on the line.
Wow.
For a bag. Every time I take a chance to get one, I'm putting my life on the line. This ain't even got nothing to do with the dope now because I ain't got none. So when my sponsor gave me that information, man, I said, well, listen, what makes me powerless over the addiction? He said, because, Melvin, you suffer from an obsession of the mind. I said, well, what's an obsession? He said, an obsession is a fixed idea or emotion that predicts, dictates, or controls one's life or behavior. I say, tell me that again. He said, obsession is a fixed idea or emotion that predicts, dictates, or controls one's life or behavior. See, let me tell you what I found out in the first step. That every thought ain't the truth and every feeling ain't a fact. Now, if you think your feelings is fact, get on top of this building and jump and don't feel like falling. I can stand in front of a bank all day and think about robbing. They're going to do absolutely nothing to me. But let me go in there and tell them what I'm thinking. So what I found out in the first step, that a man can't see no further than he can think, and a man can't think no further than he can see. See, all I could think about was a bag, so all I could see was using. All I could see was using, so all I could think about was a bag. So my sponsor told me that obsession was a fixed idea that dictates or controls one's life and behavior. Now I found out why I couldn't buy my kids no food when they got hungry, because that was a good idea. See, I found out why I couldn't pay the rent when I got my money, because that was a good idea. See, I found out why I couldn't do nothing with my money but use, you understand? Because the obsession, you understand, is a fixed idea. So that means that no matter how many good ideas I had, The fixed idea was able to overpower all of it. That's the danger of a fixed idea. That it won't allow you to exercise no good ideas. So that was good information for me. Then he told me about the compulsion. I said, well, what's the compulsion? He said, well, let's go to page 5. I said, good idea. Page 5 say, like other incurable diseases, addiction can be arrested. So it said like other incurable. So that means that I'm not going to be well, I'm not going to be cured, and I'm not going to be recovered. I'm not going to be cured, I'm not going to be well, and I'm not going to be recovered. Because it's an incurable disease. It say like other incurable diseases, it can be arrested. Arrested means locked up, put away, or under safekeeping, but it don't mean it can't get back out. It said like other incurable diseases, addiction can be arrested. We agree that there's nothing shameful about being an addict, provided we accept our dilemma honestly. A dilemma is an unsatisfactory alternative. I couldn't deal with life and I couldn't stop using. No longer am I in that dilemma. It says, accept my dilemma honestly. I'm a recovering addict. I can't use nothing. It's saying, take positive action. What's the positive action? Make a beginning on the 12 steps. It says, we are willing to admit without reservation. What's a reservation? A reservation is something hidden or concealed. It says without reservation that we are allergic to drugs. Common sense tells us it would be insane to go back to the source of our allergy. It says our experience indicate that medicine cannot cure our illness. Now it say it would be insane to go back to the source of our allergy. So I asked my sponsor, what's an allergy? He said an allergy is an unnatural reaction to a substance or a beverage once inside the human body. That's an allergy, an unnatural reaction to a substance or a beverage once inside the human body. What's the unnatural reaction? The compulsion, my inability to stop once I get started. That was good information for me. So after I found out what my problem was, the second step said we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. And that's the key word, a power. You understand? I had to find something greater than myself that I could believe in other than myself. So what the second step did, it allowed me to stay around here long enough to change my belief so I could start believing I could change. You understand? Now you got a lot of people here say, well, I don't believe in God, I can't see him. Well, show me the air in this room right now. You can't see that neither. But if the air leave everything you can see, gonna leave with it. So what's more important? What you can see or what you can't see? So it wasn't important I couldn't see it. All I had to know is that it worked. See? We can all, you understand me, come up here and plug this mic up and call it something different. But it don't matter what we call it. What's important is it worked. All insanity, it say come to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. And a lot of people think, see, restore mean to get back that which you once had. It don't mean the jewelry, the house, and the money, because if that's the case, a lot of us wouldn't have to be here no more. You understand? It's talking about being restored to what you can't see. See, ain't nothing wrong with you having a house, you having money. You understand me? Got nice clothes. Don't get it twisted. God wants you to have things. God just don't want things to have you. You understand? You're supposed to prosper around here. But what it's talking about being restored to, see, the reason when I was using the reason I did anything and everything, because I lost my self-respect. Once I lost my self-respect, I don't have no morals, principles, and values. So I'll do anything and everything because I don't have nothing to stop me. See, today there's things I won't do regardless of the circumstances because I got my self-respect back. I got morals, principles, and values. That's why I don't do certain things. You understand? I don't do it regardless of the circumstance. I'm not going to change and say certain things to be all right with you because today, you understand me, I know I ain't got to allow your feelings to be more important than mine. You understand? I ain't got to do wrong to be all right with you. So all insanity is the inability to see the truth. Sanity is the ability to see the truth. We've been restored to the ability to see the truth. I don't care if you just come off the street with your jaw wiggling. If you walked inside this room, God is allowing you to see a power that you don't see out there. We got on clean clothes. People got on jewelry. People smell good. You see a lot full of cars. You see something working in here that ain't working out there. So I've been restored to the ability to see the truth. So based on that, I had to make a decision in the third step. Made a decision to turn my will and my life over to the care of God. But my sponsor, when I got to the third step, my sponsor said, pass me the book. He said, ask me to pass you this book. I said, pass me the book. He said, I'm working on it. He said, ask me to pass you the book again. I said, pass me the book. He said, it's a process. He said, ask me to pass you the book again. I said, okay, I'm going to go along with it, whatever. I said, okay, pass me the book. He got up, came around the table, and put the book in my hand. He said, as long as you talking about you working on it, it's a process, you just in the talking stage. He said, until you get up and put some action in it, that's the only way you're going to see some results. So he said, based on your decision, you're going to have to get into some action. So I got into the fourth step where I made a searching and feelings moral inventory of myself. And all moral means the highest form of the truth. All searching means is that I'm going to be trying to do something they call fact finding. Feelings mean I'm just going to do something they call fact facing. And all it is about me. See, I'm going to tell you why the fourth step was important to me, and then I'm going to move on. My father. I hated my father. I hated my father. I disliked my father. My father used to whip me with iron cords, bats, and sticks. When my father passed, I did not shed one tear. I was happy he was gone. My brother is named after my father. My father's named James Lamb. My brother named James Lamb Jr. I couldn't stand my brother neither. I hated my brother also. My father passed in 1968. I came into recovery in 1994. That's 26 years I was carrying that hatred. You understand? See, it tells you in here, I think it's page 88, talking about pride and ego. It talks about in here that you can either swallow your pride. No, I'm going to tell you exactly what it says. I think it's page 88 of the basic text. Yeah, it's right here. No. I'm on the wrong page, that's what. It says that we can swallow our pride, or we can either die or go to the brinks of insanity. So it say pride is the only poison you can swallow and get better. So because of my ego and my pride, I carried this hatred for 26 years. Before I got to a fourth step, for 26 years. I'm talking about this anger and resentments. I found out resentment is a centennial word that means to relive or to refeel. So that means that whether I think somebody did something to me, whether it's real or imaginary. You know what I'm saying? A good example, somebody might not like somebody named Jerry. You say, hey man, I seen Jerry with me, I can't stand him. And then they might tell you, Jerry with Wilbur, can't stand him neither. Because we relive it in our mind. And because we relive it, you understand? Then we get to refilling those same feelings. See, I found out in the fourth step, this is why I couldn't keep a job. Because when they tell me, well, you're either going to do this or you're going to leave, it wasn't the person telling me in authority. He reminded me of my father. And so when he reminded me of my father, because he gave me an opportunity to vent the way I feel, I was using profanity then. I say, you and this job. This is why I couldn't get along in school, because when the teachers say, well, you're going to do this or go to the principal's office, she reminded me of my father. And because I transferred those feelings, I told her, you and the principal. You understand? So when I got to Narcotics Anonymous, man, and got to a fourth step, I realized, you understand what I'm saying? How I have been carrying this poison around and it wasn't killing nobody but me. That I was slowly dying because of this hatred and this anger and these resentments. And I ain't gonna tell you that my father did the best he could. But my father come from Arkansas, so he brought his value system with him. And he whooped me with iron cords, bats, and sticks because he thought he could whoop wrong out of me. But all he caused that to do is cause resentments and anger and hatred. You understand? So when I got to the fourth step, man, I got a 12-year-old son. I just showed Mustafa, my son, on my phone. My son is in the exceptional gifted program. I just went to a leadership dinner for my son. So I broke the cycle. My son, 12 years old, I ain't never whooped my son. I ain't never put my hands on my son. Because I know that God has endowed me with the intelligence as well as the ability to talk to my son and to teach him without whooping. My son is in the 6th grade getting ready to go to the 7th. I'm talking about I have to go to a leadership program with him right now to start looking at high schools for him. My son ain't never heard me use profanity. They asked my son in school, say, who is your hero? He say, my dad. I'm talking about the work I did in the fourth step. I'm talking about the brother that I hated. I went to my brother, you understand me? And me and my brother made amends to him. I'm talking about, listen, my brother stay in Columbus, Ohio, and I got keys to his house. I'm talking about we sat down and cried and talked about this, that resentment I had from my father. He said, a lot of that I know. See, my father told me, be like your brother, be like your brother. My mama, be like your brother, be like your brother. Y'all the first person that told me, be myself. Everybody wanted me to be somebody else or like somebody else. Y'all the first people that told me the true difference being myself. You understand? So I'm talking about in the fourth step. See, I didn't never think when it deal with the resentments of the fear, my sex conduct, I didn't think I had no fear. I said, man, wait a minute, hold it. I ain't no coward now. I done been on American Most Wanted, you understand? Gang bang, been in penitentiary. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. I ain't gonna turn another cheek, man. You hit my cheek, we gonna move some furniture. But the reason sponsorship is important because my sponsors say, listen, think about why you went to the penitentiary. See, you hooked up with the mob, they come and told you so-and-so in the pool room that violated, come on. Man ain't did absolutely nothing to me. I was standing in the hallway talking to a woman. She said, don't go with them. You know you ain't gonna do them but get in trouble. She said, you're supposed to stay here with me. I said, look, I got to go. They're my homies. I got to move out. Go to the pool room, and look, I didn't even get a chance to do nothing to the man. And the police came and took us all to jail. And then we in the bullpen, you know what I'm saying? They tell me, look, I don't care if they give us life. Boy, this is how we ride. We get down together. And I'm talking about, you understand me? That's right, boy. We so-and-so, so-and-so. But when I'm upstairs by myself, dealing with the real me, taking the mask off, I say, wait a minute. I should have never went to that pool room with them. I don't want to be up in here. I don't want to be in jail. So I found out, man, that I didn't have the courage to speak up for myself out of fear. See? When I was in the penitentiary, man, carrying knives, talking about if they mess with so-and-so, you on security. Man, I ain't got time for all the time you people done gave me. But out of fear, I didn't have the courage to speak up for myself. As a result of the step work, I ain't been in jail since I've been clean. That's almost 17 years. So today I got the courage to speak up for myself. See? I'm talking about, listen, man. See, my sex conduct, see, this is what I found out, man, make it real sharp. I didn't have respect for women. I got respect today, man. I sat down, man, when I got clean, and me and my mama, man, my mama seen me clean for 10 and a half years. Me and my mama talked about everything. I'm talking about every time I made it get on the step, I go talk to my mama. You understand? The only thing I regret that my mother wasn't here longer. But like my sponsor told me, if you hadn't been acting a fool so long, you'd have had more time with your mother. So thank God for the time he gave you with her. Thank God she had the opportunity to see you clean. You understand? But he said, if you really want to respect your mama, respect women from now on. But I was doing that anyway. You understand what I'm saying? See, the fifth step talking about that, look, we admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being, the exact nature of our wrong. You understand? Quit telling people you're a garden tool. You know, you women be talking about, well, you know I'm still a garden tool. No, you ain't. Talking about, well, you know I'm still sick. No, you ain't. Well, you know I'm an addict. Yeah, but you're a recovering addict. Whatever you was in your addiction, you ain't a part of that now. Quit holding on to that. Quit claiming that. You understand? Look, this is what it said in Recovery and Relapse. At the bottom of 77 and at the top of 78, it said we must relearn, not react. We must relearn many things that we have forgotten and develop a new approach to life if we are to survive. This is what Narcotics Anonymous is all about. It is about people who care about desperate dying addicts and who can in time teach them how to live without drugs. Many of us have difficulty coming into the fellowship because we did not understand that we had a disease of addiction. We sometimes see our past behavior as part of ourselves and not part of our disease. See, I was a thief when I was stealing. That was part of my disease. And this is progressive, incurable, and fatal. See, when I first started stealing, I was stealing long before I touched dope. But the difference is, when I first started stealing, I cared who I stole from. Once I started using it, it didn't matter. That's the progression. But today, I don't pick up nothing that don't belong to me. Because I ain't got to steal today. So I don't claim that, I don't be talking about I'm still sick. Because look, if God allowed you to get to the room of Narcotics Anonymous, you're getting better one day at a time. People that's still sick don't know what Narcotics Anonymous is. You understand? We are not still sick. See, whatever you think That's how you live. All action is born in thought. If you think sick, you live sick. So I had to find out the exact nature. Yeah, I stole, but why did you steal, Melvin? The exact nature ain't you stole. The exact nature is why did you steal? Because my father would come in, it was 6 of us. He would have presents for them. I say, where mine at? He said, when you learn how to act, you'll get something. Can you imagine that you're 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and when you learn how to act, you get something? So I immediately got angry. And my anger said, I'll show you. I went and started stealing. I get it on my own. I ain't got to wait on you. You understand? So you hear people around here talking about, you look for love in all the wrong places. That's a myth. Love is too powerful emotion. There's nowhere in the world you can look for love in the wrong place. Because if you were looking for love in all the wrong places, what you doing here? Love is too powerful emotion to look for it wrong. But when love finds you, it'll put you in the right place. God put me right here with you loving and caring people, man. I ain't know nothing about no Narcotics Anonymous meetings. I know about gang meetings and penitentiary meetings. But it's a sister in recovery. She's still clean today. She was a counselor when I was in the shelter. She said, look, you got a drug problem. You're going to have to make a meeting. I said, no, I ain't finna make no meeting. My feet frostbit. I can't walk. She said, oh, yeah, you're going to make a meeting. I said, well, the way my feet are, I bet you I'm not going to no meeting. You can give me some air. She said, okay, no problem. She got 2 guys to help me to the court. She said, now you got a choice. Either you can go out that front door or you can go inside this meeting. See, the last part of 1994, I'm talking the last part of January 1994, it was 30 and 40 below zero outside. I didn't have no money. I was hopeless, helpless, penniless. I had no money. My feet was frostbit. I couldn't walk. Choice wasn't hard. I came in the meeting. But this is why I don't believe, I'm talking about Melvin. This is why I don't believe in foxhole prayers. I don't believe there's no such thing as a foxhole prayer. I believe God in your prayers, whether you mean them or not. But I also believe how sincerely you pray is directly proportional to what you receive. You understand? So when I found out the exact nature, man, what made me do wrong, you understand? Then I started seeing, man, that I don't have to do that no more. See, when they talk about unconditional love around here, that's something I had to learn. So I found out, man, that one of the definitions for love is the infinite delight in another person's happiness. So it wasn't hard for me, man, to start helping people, man. Because the 6th step say, when it talks about we weren't entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. If you notice, the 6th step said we was entirely ready to have God remove these defects of character. Step 7 said we humbly ask Him to remove our shortcomings. See, the reason we have to ask God to remove the defects and the shortcomings, because leaving up to us, we're nourishing. See, we're nourishing and developing, we're justifying, and we'll hold on to them. And this disease is progressive even in abstinence. That whatever you do, it gets worse. You disrespect people, your disrespect ain't gonna get worse. If you dislike somebody, your dislike gonna get worse. See, you be talking about you can't stand this person. Why God you think God put him in front of you? To get you some help with what you can't stand. See, I made a beginning on all 12 steps, but let me tell you something. I don't know how much time I got. I want to touch on relationships right quick. See, you hear people in here, they give people the half-truth, They always talking about, well, relationships are pain forever. Relationships are pain forever. Relationships are pain forever. Like you ain't supposed to get in no relationship. Relationship is the best thing in the world you can do around here. You know what I'm saying? But we give people the half-truth. This is what it said. It said one of the biggest stumbling blocks to recovery seems to be placing unrealistic expectations on ourselves or others. Relationship can be a terrible, painful area. We tend to fantasize and project what will happen. We get angry and resentful if our fantasies are not fulfilled. We forget that we are powerless over other people. See, add the other part to it. When we fantasize and project what we want, and it don't happen, then we get angry and resentful. But relationship is the best thing you can have around here. My sponsor told me that in order for you to get into a relationship with a recovering addict, you got to do 6 things. I said, well, what is that? He said, you got to love her beyond her behavior, beyond her defects, and beyond her mistakes. You got to commit, you got to sacrifice, and you got to be responsible. I said, why have I got to love her beyond her mistakes? He said, because we have frailties and fallibilities. She allowed to make mistakes by God, not by you. I said, why have I got to love her? I said, why have I got to love her beyond her defects? He said, because you're going to find out in step 6 and 7 that you don't have the power to change nobody but you. You want a good woman, be a good man. You want a responsible woman, be a responsible man. You want a truthful woman, be a truthful man. Why have I got to love her beyond her behavior? Because she probably going to do some things you're not going to like. But in order to be with her, you got to learn how to embrace it. Why have I got to commit? Because you can no longer think like a single man. If she got 3 children, you got to think like a man that's with a woman that's got 3 children. Why have I got to sacrifice? Because her kids might need some shoes and you might want another gold chain. See, let me tell you something. When you learn how to sacrifice, you're going to learn something. Ain't no such thing as no stepchildren around here. See? The only way you're looking at a child is your stepchild because you got some plans to step away from your responsibility. I'm saying that if a woman got children, them children are spiritually yours. When you accept the women, the children come with them. Well, why have I got to be responsible? Because you're in Narcotics Anonymous. That's a good insight that you don't know how. Because when you learn about responsibility, then you break the word down. You learn how to respond rather than react. See, let me tell you something. Your children know your inventory better than you do. You bring me home and you say, children, I want you to meet Melvin L. They say, yeah, Melvin, how you doing? Because children instinctively want the best for their mother. So when you come and introduce me to your children, they want to know if you're going to be in the house, is you going to be in her life or a part of her life. You understand? Because children want their mother to be happy. You understand? All the women in here stand up. All the women. That's how you got to stand up for yourself in here. No longer you got to compromise your principles, your morals, or your values. You understand? Quit getting in the mirror talking about, do I look good enough for Melvin? Start asking, do Melvin look good enough for you? You understand? You got to change your value system. All the men stand up. All the men stand up. No longer we got to compromise our principles, our morals, and our values. We got to take the principles, morals, and values back inside our community, and God is allowing us to start in the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. Thank you. See, it's about us respecting one another. That's what this is about, us respecting one another. You understand? You know, look, you sisters ain't got to have a light man, rent man, shoe man, outfit man, nail man, and all that. You understand? Because when a real man get with you, he'll do all them things anyway. You understand? See, if a man is not doing something or not respecting you, you need to look at your value system. If you're a woman and you're dealing with a man that's married, then don't complain about being with that man. Complain about your value system. If you're a man messing with or you interacting with a woman that's got a man or a husband, don't complain about a husband. Complain about your value system. Because I'm telling you that God made you worthy. You understand what I'm saying? To have your own. You understand? When God created you, he created the respect for you. You don't have to share yourself with nobody. You understand? He done gave you the intelligence and the ability, you understand what I'm saying, to have any man you want in your life or a man to have any woman in his life. See, you call me a mappy tapper, you're going to do it one time. That's it. You ain't finna call me no punk. You ain't finna call me them funny names. Because listen, and don't call me talking about you don't mean it, because you do. Because don't nothing come out you but what's down in you. You understand? And all you're going to get with me is one time. That's it. Because I'm going to remove myself. I ain't got to be none of that. Because my value system done changed. I'm not going to do nothing for you to disrespect me, because I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm not going to put my hands on no woman. They don't even need that law. I'm not going to put my hand. Ain't nothing no woman can do to me unless she's trying to physically hurt me. I'm not going to put my hands on you. I don't have to. You understand? I don't even want the kind of woman where I got to fight. Or we got to go to that extreme. I don't even want that. See, what I value is my peace and my serenity. That's what's important to me. And you keep upsetting my space, it's time for me to go. Now, you might like calling somebody mappy tappy, that's cool, but it won't be me. You understand? Because I'm talking about, listen, your value system is what's important. So when we come in here, see, people was calling me anything and everything out there, but today, on my job, they call me Mr. Lamb. See, I'm not going back to you. You know, you hear people talking about, well, don't say never. I'm not going to never use again as long as I live. You understand? And the reason I can say that is two reasons. If I do God's will to the best of my ability in the 3rd and 11th step, it don't involve using. If I follow these principles to the best of my ability, they don't involve using. So all I got to do is let the journey continue just for the day. And just for the day, I'm not going to use regardless of the circumstance. This is the only place I came to that I can be happy broke. And the reason I can be happy broke because I found out I'm rich in so many other ways. You understand? So if you're tired of the way life looks, take another look at life. You understand? I'm talking about these steps are changing agents. What you got to do in here is have a vision. Once you have a vision, then you'll set a goal. Once you set a goal, you will challenge yourself. You ever seen a dog chase a big person? Dog chase a big person and he jumped the fence. You say, man, I didn't know you could jump that fence. He said, I didn't either. But the dog helped bring out my potential. That's what Narcotics Anonymous does. It chases you until they can find a better you inside of you to bring out your potential. You know, you ever notice, they say, well, you know, they read them same readings, Mustafa, over and over and over and over and over and over again. Every time you go to me, the same reading. Or you might hear Mustafa, or you might hear me, you might hear Thomas Pierre, you might hear Glendora, you might hear Usman. I heard them people 1,000 times. Well, let me show you something. Everybody hold their hand up like this. Everybody hold their hand up like this. Now do your hand like this. Now do exactly what I asked you to do with your hand, okay? Take your hand right now and put it on your chin. See, if you was listening, your chin is down here. So we go more about what we see than what we hear. So that's why it's important the way we live. Because somebody is watching us. Yeah, we don't represent Narcotics Anonymous. Yeah, we're not Narcotics Anonymous. But somebody is always watching us. And it's important how we live. You know what I'm saying? I'm real grateful, man, that God has allowed me to come to the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous, man. I mean, by me being on TV all the time, American Most Wanted, all that, I got my people put out their house, put out their building. When they found out I was related to them. Now my brothers and sisters, man, they love me. When my mother passed, I'm the one had her bank card. I'm the one, you understand me, when they got all the money, her money out the bank. I'm the one was entrusted with the property, power of attorney. My mother said that she never thought out of all 6 of her, God would allow me to be the one to take care of her. See? You might be able to change your clothes, but that's because God allowed you to be able to change your mind and to change your heart. Let me tell you something, man. One time I went to speak, and my son maybe was about 10 or 11 years old then, maybe about 9 or 10. He introduced me. This is my son. Can't no drug replace that feeling. You understand? My son gets A's and B's. Can't no dope replace that feeling. You understand? I love taking care of my responsibilities, man. Can't no drug replace that feeling. You understand? If you love somebody, man, tell them the day that you love them. You understand? Tell somebody you love them, man. Hey, look here. I'm just foot stomping happy. You understand? By somebody loving me. You know, you hear them people going, yeah, well, I don't need nobody. I can go out by myself. I ain't one of them people. You know what I'm saying? I love being with somebody.
All right.
You know what I'm talking about? I love being able to love somebody. Dope can't replace that feeling. You understand? Somebody tell you that they love you. Ain't a better feeling, man. And I found real love right inside the room of Narcotics Anonymous. I'm telling you, you women, the reason I'm always talking to you women is because, look, I seen the pain you went through when I was used. Yeah. And some of it I did. Yeah. So I made amends, man, right in here. I don't want to be a part of no pain in a woman's life no more. You know what I'm saying? And so far I've been doing a pretty good job, man. Respect our children, man, because they're the future. You understand? I don't care if I get with a woman, she's got 10 babies. I'm going to do my best with women and 10 kids. You know what I'm saying? Because life is short, man. Life is too short. So if you got the opportunity to love somebody, man, do it. So listen, I'm going to wrap it up. Let me tell you. Don't worry about nobody talking about you. Don't worry about nobody gossiping about you. Don't worry about nobody pointing their finger at you, and let me tell you why. Because the opinion of people can't compare with the power of God. You understand? God did not make nothing useless. Nothing. Everything God put life in got a purpose. Your aim was to get clean. Stay here and find out your purpose in life. Everybody, don't let nobody tell you ain't working on nothing, because you is. Don't let nobody tell you, you understand what I'm saying, that you ain't doing nothing, because you is. If you in here, look, if you see a tree in the wintertime, it don't have no leaves on it, it be bare, can't nobody see its purpose. They say you need to cut it down, it's just in the way. But if you allow the seasons to change, you see the leaves come on the tree, you see the branches. Then it helps us because it helps the oxygen in the air. It makes sure we breathe properly. It helps protect the birds. It gives us shade. So you see its purpose. So you got to allow a person's seasons to change in here. To give them opportunity to see their purpose. Just like if I ask you right now, how many people in here see my hand? All you able to see is one side. This is the other side. So when a newcomer come in here, all we see is one side.
Wow.
Let them stay here until we can see the other side. You understand? Because they too have a purpose. So this is the way I always end. I hope I help somebody. I know I help myself. In this electrifying age, you have men as well as women racing into this life without complete knowledge of where they're going or what the ends will be. When riches seem to be the only pursuit to be obtained anyway and at any cost. When selfishness, avarice, greed, and lust dominate your very being, and when humanity and gentleness left at the mercy of those who have no mercy in them, then it is truly wonderful and astounding to see one come into this mad human drama for the sole purpose of saving humanity, losing sight on those things worldly and yielding absolutely to a cause higher than has ever yet been obtained. This is the purpose of Narcotics Anonymous, coming as it does to carry the message to the addict who still suffers. Let me tell you something to do when you go home, a little exercise. Ask a man why he liked you. That's a real simple question. Ask a man why he loved you. That's a real simple question. Ask him, do he have a job? That's a real simple question. Ask him, what plans do he have for you and your children? That's a real simple question. And if you can't get the answer to them, then you need to look at your value system. Thanks for letting me share. I'll keep coming back. Is that cool?